Find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. Going with the gut, never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now. We know I ain't ballin' yet, hoes wanna holler, oh no, I don't call them back. Girl, let me see you hold it down, we gon' have a blast. Cause I just wanna know what you gonna do with all of that. Ain't gotta say a word, I know what's up, you can have it all. Watch me rip it off, I'll admit it, you got me feeling hella love. Even when it's going down, know that we gon' live it up. Young shot caller, always been a baller. Know that you the one, I can feel it in my heart. Yeah, I won't stop charging me, going come harder. I can see you and I, way beyond the stars, girl. I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right, it feels Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now.
know there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star.
Didn't even get to cross.
I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I'd be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then never just after me. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then never just after me. Yeah, shoot, yeah, shoot, yeah, shooting, yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars.
Didn't even get to cross.
I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass.
I can't find my way back to you until you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Until you find your way back home. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Until you find your way back home. I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home.
Getting in the zone is easier with ad-free music. With Spotify Premium, you can drown out life's distractions and run that extra mile, write that extra paragraph, or read those extra notes. Listen to all the songs you want, minus the ads, minus the interruptions. Try Premium for 30 days free.
Multi-buildup. Not only can you build a multi across a range of sports, now you can choose the price.
Come on, punter. Shorter price.
And choose the time.
I said...
Conditions apply. Gamble responsibly.
Listen up, punters. No more should you be subdividing your attention between some push notification pertaining to races 6, 7 and 11 at Rose Hill and your girlfriend or boyfriend. Show some Bettiget today and learn more at bettiget.nrw.gov.au.
Wake up with the Grill Team for breakfast on Triple M.
Yeah, I'd always get a good laugh out of it. It's always good fun to listen to.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They're just so funny.
There are worse ways to start your day.
Great combination of sport, humour, good music.
Matty Johns with MG and Gus and Emma Friedman and Paigey.
It's a show for everyday people who love their sport and love some rock and roll.
Just expect a lot of randomness.
That's an understatement.
It's a good laugh in the morning.
The Grill Team.
Absolute best day.
Triple M Breakfast. Wake up with the Grill Team.
They're just hilarious.
Just to get funny.
For breakfast on Triple M.
It's the ultimate way to start your morning.
Well, there are better ways. Just not on radio.
3 hours of an absolute piss take.
Matty Johns.
I love his Gary John stories.
With MG and Gus.
Gus is a bit of a legend.
If I ever want a good laugh, I just go back and listen to the old podcast.
And Emma Friedman and Paigey.
Emma's good. I think Paige is fantastic as well.
The Grill Team.
I tell everyone how good it is.
Listen to it. This is funny.
Triple M Breakfast.
The big games are here, and it starts with a qualifying final. 2 chances for survival, sure, but perhaps just one serious chance at premiership glory. The prize tonight, enormous. A week off, a preliminary final at home, and the biggest sweetener of them all, no trip to Melbourne. Oh, you can lose this game and go on to take the trophy. It's been done before. The Broncos have done it twice. But that is a treacherous path, and the Roosters know it all too well. 2014, minor premiers, lost in the first week, no grand final. 2015, same thing. That's the beauty of the finals. You can spend 26 weeks scratching and clawing your way to second or third. But a misstep here, and you're back with the teams that barely made it. About the Roosters. Yeah, they make mistakes. They have dead spots. Still good enough to finish second. They win tough and they win tight. 14 of their 24 games decided by 6 points or less. Of those 14, they won 11 of them. God help the others if they can put it together for 80 minutes. And the Broncos, backs to the wall. Boyd out. McCulloch, season over. But the master is there, Wayne Bennett, his 26th final series. You reckon there's anything he hasn't seen? Big names in the forwards. Maguire, Gillett, Thaiday, up against Warrior Hargreaves, Cordner, Napa, and the backs. Stars everywhere you look. Milford, Roberts, Marshall, opposite Pearce, Keary, Latrell. What a matchup. Team will be 80 minutes from the grand final from Allianz Stadium. The Roosters and the Broncos live on Triple M. We are very close to kick-off here at Allianz Stadium, about 9 minutes from the scheduled kick-off time. The Broncos are back in the sheds and the Roosters about to leave the arena as well. Triple M rocks the footy for Bryden's Lawyers. We have all the finals on Triple M, and if your station doesn't take a particular game, you can always hear our call via the Triple M NRL app. Now, we just got a tweet here asking, it was an earlier montage, that wonderful piece put together with Hugh Gerds and Hugh Wendell and Sterlo and Jamie Soward and Gordy and MG talking about what it's like to play in the final, and they're asking, can they get that on a podcast? I don't think so, but we will certainly play that tomorrow and on Sunday as well. So if you listen to the 12 till 3 shows, then you will certainly hear that at some stage. But it was good, wasn't it? Certainly worth replaying once or twice. Crowd at the moment, probably about 15,000, 16,000. It is a little bit chilly now in Sydney, and I'm not sure that's the reason why the crowd is not all that great, but always been a problem getting crowds when the Broncos are the visiting team. It'll be interesting to see how we go tomorrow night when we've got an all-Sydney game, Manly and Penrith, as the Flames go off here at Allianz Stadium. And the Broncos will have no fears, will they, Gerds, of this ground. They have had great success here over the years. In fact, this current team's got a pretty good record here as well, I believe, even though they did lose in very close circumstances against the Roosters in round 13.
No, they won't be too concerned, Dan. They travel pretty well these days, the Broncos, and they do have a few senior players out, but look, plenty of experience there. I guess more about tonight's advantage would you have to think the Roosters. I mean, I think they've won their last 8 in a row here, Dan. So this has been a real fortress for them in the 2017 season. Only lost one game here all year, so they will certainly be confident and feel right at home running out here tonight.
The Broncos still do have a problem, and that is winning finals away from home. Now, of course, in the early 90s and mid-90s, not a problem. All of a sudden now, they can't lose a final at home. They've won their last 6 at Suncorp dating back to 2009. They haven't won an away final since 2009, and that was down the road against the Gold Coast. So it is starting to become a little bit of an issue, the fact they can't win away from Queensland.
Oh, very much so, Dan. And, the thing, I suppose, in their favour is they've always gone well against the Roosters but in the final series, but that's more been, as you've said before, more sort of at Suncorp Stadium. I think they've beaten them 4 out of the last 5 in finals football. So there's always been a good sort of rivalry between the Roosters and the Broncos. But tonight, I'm thinking this Broncos team, they understand that, and even Wayne making those changes, that's the team and that's the squad that he thinks that can really turn this. Because they weren't so good last week, the Roosters, against the Titans. But you know what? Got these players in tonight now, Dylan Napa, Aiden Guerrera. Mate, when you've got Tupou, who's a try-scoring machine, he'll come on at some stage off the bench. That makes me a little bit nervous, I suppose, if you're a Broncos supporter.
For those late to the call, Cody Nikorima has been moved to the bench. Jordan Kahu goes to fullback, and David Mead off the bench onto the wing. That's the Brisbane side. Still 1-17 for the Roosters. Out goes Manu, in comes Tupou, Mitchell to the wing, and Ryan Madison into the centres. So they are the teams for Mungle Boots. We'll go through 1-17 as they come out. Do you think, Gerds, the fact that the Roosters have been here the last 2 times they've been in this situation, 2014, 2015, overwhelming favourites and lost, does that play any role? I mean, that is now 3 and 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does play a role, Dan, because I saw Boyd Cordner talking about it all week, and they were driven by it. So if they're going to use that for motivation, obviously they are thinking about it. There's probably half a dozen guys in this side that, would be still burning from those losses. The last thing you want to do is come into these finals and lose that first game. It's always nice to get, especially when, you got the opportunity to have a rest next week and freshen right up and then get another home semi, and you're 1 game away from the grand final. So lots to play for. We spoke about the fact that the loser goes then into the same side as the draw as the Melbourne Storm. I think they'll be really confident tonight, the Roosters, and they'll put that behind them, but they'll use it to drive them.
Now, Wayne Bennett is with Channel 9 right now. I believe it's with Freddie Fittler.
Do you get any more nervous this time of year?
Oh, I suppose you do a little bit, yeah.
What about watching last week Darius go down? What's your first reaction when you see your captain go down like that?
Oh, you just hope it won't be too long. You just hope it's not a real bad one. You obviously realise he's torn his hamstring, so it's just you're hoping that it's not a 5 or 6 week injury, which it won't be.
Your starting team, is it 1-17?
No, we've made a change.
What's a change?
Cody's gone to the bench, and David Mead's coming into the team.
What's your plan for Cody now?
He'll play a lot of game time, but he won't be starting.
As usual, good luck, Wayne.
Thanks, Freddie.
That is the first time I reckon I've heard Freddie rattled in an interview.
Oh, you reckon he's rattled?
No. I think Wayne got him. Wayne played him off a break, and Freddie, he did his best, but when Wayne's in the mood, he'll stonewall everyone.
That's his game face. He's on, but mate, I know he loves Freddie, so yeah.
Oh no, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
But yesterday he was. It didn't matter who was going to win for him tonight. He was going to. Whoever it was going to cop that. 60-second final for Wayne Bennett. Can you believe that? 60-second finals match.
No.
His win record 52.5%. His grand final record far better than his finals record. Now for Jack Link's for Jack Link's beef jerky, it is time for the bold predictions. Feed your wild side. Find it in the snack hole today. Wendell, you can go first.
Yeah, well, I think for me, mate, we talked about Boyd Cordner. He scored 6 tries out of 7 games against the Broncos. I'm going Boyd Cordner try.
All right, good record there. Ryan Girdler.
No way. I was going to say Boyd first try scorer.
Oh, it's a Boyd-a-thon. That's okay.
That's what I was going to say, man.
He's a bold. You're a bolder. Prediction.
Yeah, it's fine.
One up the big dog.
Okay, yeah.
Billy Harrigan, a bold prediction, please.
Yeah, bold prediction. Broncos will win it. Ben Hunt scores from dummy half. Matt Gillett scores.
Oh, let's just get this guy.
Hang on, we've got
boldest.
Yeah.
Brent Reid, that's a hard one to top down.
Let's go, ready?
I'm going to go Jimmy Roberts to get a double in a big Brisbane win.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. And I've got Waria Hargreaves. This mightn't sound bold, but he's failed to crack 100 metres last 2 games against Brisbane. 160 plus metres.
160.
100. I'm putting him down for one. I think he's ready for a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here we go. The finals are just about here. The Brisbane Broncos arrive on Allianz Stadium. And one of the great Broncos, Wendell Saylor, take us through their team.
Yeah, here we go. Fullback here, Jordan Coe. On the wing, Corey Oates and David Mead. In the centre, James Robertson, Tatamoga. In the half, Anthony Milford, Benji Marshall. What a forward pack. Sam Thaiday, Ben Hunt, Adam Blair. And a super back row, Alex Blent, Matt Gillett, Josh Maguire, Cody Nicarima, Jai Arrow, Joe Offengawi, Herman SASA on the bench. Really good side there, boys.
So the Broncos will be running to the southern end towards the Sydney Cricket Ground in this first half. And it looks like they'll be kicking off as well. Here comes the home side, the second place Sydney Roosters.
Yeah, Michael Gordon at the back. Now on the wings goes Latrell Mitchell, and Ryan Madison comes into the centres with Orbison. Blake Ferguson, Luke Keary and Mitchell Pearce in the halves. Waria Hargreaves, Jake Friend, Dylan Napa up front with Boyd Cordner, the skipper, Aidan Guerra and Isaac Louis. Now on the bench, Kane Evans, Takiaho, Madison moves off the bench, and Tupou comes in, and Connor Watson is also on the bench.
Couple of big boppers on the bench. One more time, a tip to straight up. Who's going to win, Ryan Girdler?
Home ground advantage, goal kicking and injuries to the Broncos, so I'm going to go with the Roosters.
Wendell Saylor.
Broncos by 6.
And Billy Harrigan.
Broncos.
Brent Reid.
Broncos.
Wow, 3-1. And I thought the Broncos all week, Girds, but you know what? The Roosters goal kicking has won them 5 games this year. Michael Gordon's in form.
Yep.
So I think we all agree this might be pretty close. So we're just about set. The ball is on the tee. It'll be the Roosters to receive, and they'll be running to the Paddington end. You can see the nerves on these players' faces. The wait is almost over. The arm is raised. The 2017 NRL finals begin. And it's caught on the full by Mitchell Pearce, and he throws it to Waria Hargreaves, and he bends the defensive line back. Alex Glenn and Adam Blair make the tackle. 15 from their own line, the Roosters. Here's Friend feeding it across down to Ferguson. Goes one out as he's claimed near the centre of this Allianz Stadium. Maguire with the tackle. Play to Friend. Gets it on to Napa, and Napa drives Hunt and Blair back to the 30-metre line here. Roosters on their own side of halfway. Is Fred now on the next play. Pops a pass to Liu, but they rushed up on him. A great first contact by Thaiday. No metres for Liu. Now Cordner goes down the left edge with a one-out run. And he's met by Benji and Gillett. Last tackle, decent set for the Tricolours as Pearce kicks him just outside his 40. Down the middle it goes. And it's gobbled up here by Jordan Cahill, who runs straight over the top here. In fact, it was Tautau Moga at the back there. Well, that's interesting. In fact, that was David Mead in the 14 jersey. My apologies, but he was the man at the back, and he ran over a defender before finally being put away. So maybe we're playing funny buggers here, the Broncos, with their formation. As the Broncos work it up with Roberts. He's 10 shy of halfway. Now Adam Blair is hitting and spinning. Put on his side by 3-4 defenders. Broncos on halfway. Tackle 4. Played down to Hunt. Gets it on to Maguire. And he just goes up that right edge where he's connected by Napa. Last tackle. Hunt He throws it across to Benji. Oh, he goes. The big spiralling bomb doesn't quite connect, and it's easily taken on the 10-metre line by Gordon, who brings it back and is met by some willing defence. No score on the Beaumont Tiles scoreboard. We've had 1 minute and 40 seconds of play as Latrell Mitchell now hits it up on play 2.
And Mead is at fullback, boys. So Wayne Bennett did name, obviously, Kahu there at fullback, but Mead's going to play in the number 1 jersey tonight. And Wendell, what about that start? You'll get some confidence out of that run.
Yeah, he needed that run. That's what you want at the final series. I'm looking interested to see how he goes under that high ball first up.
So the Roosters is getting through their set. There was a huge wind at the Roosters' backs, but that appears to have died down as Liu hits it up. There may be some small advantage, but not as big as it was. Last tackle, Pearce goes to the air, and that is going to go towards the corner here, and it's allowed to bounce, and it sits up, now it finally rolls over the sideline. Good result for the home side. That'll be a Brisbane scrum feed on their own 10. No score, 2:20 gone on the Beaumont Tiles scoreboard. Right now at Beaumont's, get a $500 luxury bathroom wear upgrade, only at Beaumont Tiles.
Just as I said down there, that indecision, because you know it's windy, and you want your first catch to be a real positive one. As a winger and a fullback, that's what it's like out there.
Reedy, we're high up in the sky. What are the conditions like down on the field?
Yeah, Dan, there is a little bit of breeze, but it's actually blowing across the ground rather than end to end. So it's heading towards you blokes in the commentary box.
All right. So it's an easterly.
Ball is finished scrum.
Yeah, you're right, Gertz. Well done.
Here's Moga hitting it up on the first play. I think you should have taken a silence.
That's right from Queensland, isn't it?
Now they go up the left edge. And he's brought down. He lives on the beaches in Sydney. You'd think he'd know about an easterly breeze.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Here's Glenn now playing it to Hunt. He throws it across to Maguire and he hits it up and he's put down. 20 short of halfway. 3:30 gone in this one. Bingo Binscott. Hunt now goes the blind side. On a pass to Glenn. Oh, he shook off Pearce. Almost got away. Finally, the tackle was made. 9 shy of halfway as Hunt gives it to Milford. Lofting across field. Beautiful pass to Thaiday. Puts him down the middle. Comes to the fullback. Takes him on. Gordon with the tackle. Thaiday just didn't have the support. 28 out last tackle. There comes down to Milford. A chip kick, but hang on. There's a problem. A forward pass out of dummy half. And it's a changeover. Well, I'll tell you what, Milford was pouring down on that ball. Even at the Roosters retrieved, we may have been looking at a line drop out there. But what a delightful pass from the Milf.
Yeah, not many people get Boyd Cordner like that. Yeah, just the speed. He's shown a lot of confidence early, hasn't he? Milford been running the football. And the Broncos on the back of what he's going to do tonight, gee, they look sharp.
Here's Ryan Madison hitting it up for the Roosters. He's 12 short of halfway. That's 2 tackles gone for the Eastern Suburbs Club. Waria Hargreaves makes a beeline for Maguire and drives him back to the halfway as the tackle is effective. Play to Friend, jumps out of dummy half, then throws to his left to Liu, and he's got him backpedaling before he's cut down around the ankles by Glenn and taken up top by Blair. 4 gone. Friend runs down the blind side out of dummy half, throws to Guerra, gets away from Milford, gets away from Moga. Now the pair come in to finish off the tackle, but the Roosters are inside the 20. Last, near the right touchline. Friend to the open left to Pearce. A chopping kick across the face of goal. Oh, brilliant take by Kahu on the wing for Brisbane. But now it's about to be dragged over the sideline. They couldn't help themselves, the Roosters. And the referee says that is a penalty to the visiting team.
Probably a tough call for the Roosters there. That call from Chechen when he was saying held. He was still moving. The momentum had
still on the air, Bill.
And when he calls it, there was no chance that they were going to be able to stop because the momentum was going.
He was taken with the air, Bill. Have a look at the replay.
It's a dead set, yeah. Tough call on the Roosters as far as the held ball goes. But he did make contact while he was still in the air.
Did it just so Billy admits they made the wrong decision, but it was the right result.
Yeah.
Pepper money with Billy's comments there. If your home loan application's been turned down, it could be time for a handover to Pepper money. So Brisbane now don't make many metres from that penalty kick into touch, and just outside their 20 on the second as Maguire plays it. Centre field for Hunt. Hunt then gets it on now to Mead, who's chopped down. Heavy work there by Keary. And the tackle effective. Ball play to Hunt, throws to the left of Marshall. Quick hands Milford. Milford works up with Moga. That pass was okay, it just looked awkward as Moga runs down the left edge, taken here by Ferguson and also Orbison. Halfway line the Broncos, no score, 6 gone. There's now Blair, tucks it under the right arm. Oh, he almost lost it there, but he holds on as he went to ground, taken out Waria Hargreaves. Last tackle comes to Marshall, centre field, punching a kick. He's going to find the grass here as it tucks in behind Ferguson. And Ferguson retrieves, he's inside his 10, brings it back. and is taken down low by Thade and up top by Maguire. So it's a finals-like pace here at Allianz. No score after 6.5 minutes on the Beaumont Tile scoreboard. Roosters venturing down the right side where Guerra, a nice hit and spin where he's been put away 12 short of halfway. And there's a little question mark on Tautau Moga whether he's copped a knock. Here's a little run here for the Roosters getting up to the halfway line where it's Orbison getting up to play it. Now on the left, they come left, it comes to Liu. Away to Pearce, away to Keary. Goes to a huge hole. Looks for support. Oh, he has no one to give it to. And Mead comes up with a bone rattler. Last tackle. The Roosters, they've still got him backpedaling. Thrown to the open right to Pearce. Grubber, cut off by Hunt. And now he's away. Outside his own 10. He looks for support. He finds Oates on the left wing. It's Oates. It's Orbison. Orbison rounds Oates up. What a recovery from the Broncos. They're 15 shy of halfway. And now here's Glenn, and he hits it up, and he's brought down. What a pace this game is being played at. No score, 7.5 gone.
Oh, welcome to the finals, boys. What a play that was by Keary. Then just sliced through the Broncos' defence. But here go the Broncos.
Jimmy the Jet almost away. Oh, he was taken by the scruff of the neck there by Ryan Madison, and Mitchell came in to help as well. This is end-to-end stuff early. As now, Matt Gillett hitting and spinning and put down by 3 defenders. And he's collected 35 out, 10 in from the right touchline. It's played now to Kahu, and he throws it infield to Maguire, and now he gets the legs pumping. He dragged 3 defenders with him almost up to the 20. Broncos in good field position. Last, Hunt runs sideways left out of dummy half, gives it to Milford, a little grubber. The chasers are coming through, but it sits up nicely for Ferguson. Then he gives it, don't argue, to Milford. Finally brought down 5 metres later.
Real good, strong run there by Blake Ferguson. That's what he needs to do in this final series. In Origin, he takes those tough carries as well.
So, these two teams, they have started hot. Here comes Boyd Cordner going down the middle for the Roosters. Brought down on the third. This is the third meeting between these two teams. It's 1-1. As now, here's Warrior Hargreaves hitting it up and brought down 7 short of halfway. Those stats thanks to Makita. As he's friend at dummy half, goes to the right and up. A short pass to Liu, and I think it was Thade rushing up out of the line, and he was almost exposed there. Anyway, the tackle made. Last comes to Pearce, puts up the high end-over-end bomb. The wind might catch this, but it's still easy for Corey Oates. Takes it on his own 10 and brings it back. Drags defenders with him. That's a 15-metre run. And it remains no score. It's Roosters and the Broncos. The first qualifying final here live on the Triple M NRL network for Bryden's Lawyers. And now Milford jumps in the dummy half on the third tackle. He throws infield to Glenn, and Glenn is bumping upfield before he's put away. Ball is played, and here's Hunt away to Marshall. Early kick, and Mitchell hadn't dropped back, but the fullback had in Gordon. So he's got this covered on his own 10. Marshall with a great chase, gets him first. Marshall on Gordon. And the Roosters 12 out from their own line. Here comes Latrell Mitchell now. Oh, he splashes off Matt Gillett. He got almost away from Marshall as well, but Latrell eventually brought down. Now he goes Madison with a 1-out run. Ball tucked under the left arm, and he's brought down on the third. Played to Pearce, 20 short of halfway. Throws it across the corner. Oh, he almost got away there from Adam Blair, who looked like he was in a chariot race and he was stuck under the horse. Now the Roosters on the next play, spread it right. Pearce away to Orbison. Orbison, he takes off down that right side before he's rounded up by Milford and Oates. 20 out, last tackle. They come to the open left. Guerra, he knows he needs to get rid of it. He finds Keary holding it. Then a long floater out to the left of Liu. Still the last. Liu steps inside one. Inside another. He got over.
Does he drop it?
But this will need inspection, and he doesn't look confident, Isaac Liu.
He looks like he drops it to me. We'll just see what Matty Chetchen's doing as he goes to the bucket. No try. Right decision. No try by Matty Chetchen.
One of the great runs. He got past David Mead like the young man was a turnstile, and he
short and lost it. No try.
Gee, what a tackle it was there by the skipper, Adam Blair, to come across and cover there.
The ball was originally grounded short of the goal line and has been knocked on into the end goal. Have a decision going to the board.
But it was brilliant play by the Roosters out on that right-hand side. It was Pearce. He identified they were short out there, the Broncos. It was a bullet-like pass to get Orbison on the outside, and he showed us a clean pair of heels. Orbison did the right thing, took the tackle, and on the back of that, it was the last play. They spread it over this way, and it ended up with Liu, and he didn't know what to do with it. He had great play. I think it was there by Keary bringing it across. Then Liu beats Hunt. Then he gets on the inside of Mead, and Adam Adam Blair comes from absolutely nowhere to stop a certain 4-pointer. What a play by the skipper.
No score, 10.5 gone. Billy, thanks to Pepper Money. Broncos with it. Let's go to the sideline. Brent Reid, Ream Hot Water Heaters.
And I'll tell you what, it's a cracking game on the park, and the crowd's into this. There's about over 20,000 here now, I think. There's a real semi-final atmosphere to this football game.
If you're in Sydney, there is nothing like finals footy. At Allianz at the footy stadium as now Roberts has brought down. Now he is forward pass, a late call. The crowd got their way. And this is a line baller. And it'll be a scrub for the home side about 45 metres out. Well, this will be a most interesting Cotai replay. Here's Hunt. Billy for Pepper Money.
He's forward blitz, the second one out of dummy half now from the Broncos. So you think they've learned from it? But it's a good call.
These are the little things that have plagued the Broncos all year. They've been ill-disciplined and they've come up with little errors like that in crucial stages that have really let them down. This could hurt them. I mean, the Roosters almost scored in their last attacking set. They're lined up now to the right. This is a big set of 6 here defensively for Brisbane.
So they spin it out to the right from the scrum when the Roosters. Pierce out to Madison, steaming onto the ball, cut down low. The defence of Alex Glenn, 42 metres out, played to Friend, comes back to the open left as he passes to Pierce, Pierce to Liu. Liu is a one-man wrecking ball right now. He got away from one defender before finally being stopped by Hunt. Here's now Friend, throws back to the right to Pierce, Pierce to Keary, runs at the line, short pass to Guerra, almost puts him away, taken down low by Milford, but they are giving Milford nightmares out there. Ball played 10 metres away, Pierce, he runs, he goes for it, he's almost there, no, he's dropped down. Mead in there along with Thide Blair as well. Right upright, 2 metres out. Friend, beautiful pass out to Guerra. There's no one near him. It's a Roosters try. And finally they get their 4-pointer. He improves the position as well. And the Roosters, they're away. It's 4 points to 0 on the Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Well, this has got everything in it. What a start here for both teams. But the Roosters, they've had a couple of line breaks. They didn't capitalise early, but now they capitalise on that right-hand side. Aiden Guerrero, nice play there. Ran the nice line there. As he jumped out, Jake Friend, he found him. Great try there, Goods.
Yeah, brilliant by Jake Friend there, because they had players lined out the back. Keary and Pierce were actually waiting behind Guerrero then, and they had numbers. But you said it during the call, Dan. They've gone at Milford, haven't they, down that edge? And, yeah, they've really isolated him tonight and been able to get around him, go over the top of him that time. Well, the ball passed him. He was ball watching, and Jake Friend jumped out, had plenty of options. They were all alive, and that's what made it difficult for the Brisbane defence. But he hit the right man, and that's a great play there by the Roosters.
Well, when you've got two great coaches, Robinson and Bennett, if someone's there to be exposed, they're going to be exposed. And Guerra has made a wonderful start to this game as they aim their guns at the Brisbane number 6.
They score either way there. I mean, they either give it to Guerra and he goes in, or they give it out the back to Keary. Pierce was there, and then there was only the winger in the centre, and the Roosters had about 4 men out there. So that try was coming, and it was on the back of a Broncos error coming out of trouble.
We've had so much action, it feels like we're 25 minutes in.
You got a last, Dan?
13 and a half. I might make it through tonight, but I don't know about the rest of the weekend.
Oh, Billy's ready.
Kick is good. Michael Gordon from in front. It's Sydney Roosters 6, Brisbane Broncos 0. That's after 14 minutes on the Bingo Bench clock. The commercial bins, household cleanups, local waste facilities. Call Bingo 135 bin. Oh, the finals, nothing like it. Brent Reid on the sideline. Ream Hot Water Heaters.
And I'll tell you who's a relief man right now, Isaac Liu, because he bombed a try 2 minutes earlier. He should have scored. The Roosters made it up for him. He'll be a happy boy.
In saying that, hasn't he been dynamic every time he's run the ball?
He reminds me of Takiaho. That's what I expect from Takiaho.
And Takiaho
he's keeping him out of the side.
Yeah. So the Roosters now, they're running to the Paddington end of this Allianz Stadium, and it's Wairua Hargreaves hitting it up first. He plays it now to Friend, turns it inside to Ferguson, and he goes down the middle where Thide gets him down low, and Maguire up top, and Gillett there as well. It's played now with Friend, who throws to Napa. Oh, he bumps away from Blair. Then he holds off Glenn momentarily before Glenn finally grabs Napa by the arm. Roosters 18 short of halfway as that ball is played, and here's Liu going down the middle. No way through on this occasion. Glenn and Maguire hold their ground. Played to Friend, throws to the open left to Keary. Keary on to Boyd Cordner, who ran over Benji Marshall. Benji was sent reeling. Boyd was taken by the next wave of defence. Last halfway. That's where the ball is put up here by Pearce, and it's a deep kick, easily taken by Mead on his 10. And he tucks it under the arm and he runs into a brick wall. And does pretty well to hang on to it, actually, because he fell awkwardly out of the tackle. And he's okay, and now Benji picks it up and runs out of dummy half on play 2. And Corey Oates goes one out on play 3, and another good run. That's 15 metres again. 6-0 Roosters, 15.5 gone. Hunt weaves out of dummy half. Looks to go to the right, now comes back to the left. Throws to Moga. Looks like he's battling some sort of injuries. He runs into 3 players there. Brisbane now inside Roosters territory. Played to Hunt. Throws across to Milford. He runs a diagonal. Pushes away from Liu. Oh, and then he's brought down and throws a good pass, which is put down by Ferguson. Had he taken it, he was untouchable. But now Brisbane, they get it back here in a fresh set. As now Corey Oates goes to ground. So that's a 0 and they're 45 away. Now here goes Glenn powering upfield. Makes it to the 30. And he'll play the ball here for the Broncos in the centre of this Allianz Stadium. Hunt feeds it across to Maguire. Right side, raised right, then puts on a right foot step and almost found a little opening, but it was closed down by Napa and Friend. 20-metre line. Hunt throws to Marshall, runs up the line, flat pass to Gillett, the front man. Gillett put down. Well read there by Warrior Hargreaves and Keary. Right side, 10 away. There's Milford. A long pass left out of dummy half. Here to Hunt, turns it back inside to Maguire. Maguire makes a beeline for Keary, drags him along, but he had a bodyguard, Keary, and Warrior Hargreaves. Well played. On the 5th play, a grubber out of dummy half, and Cleary has plucked the ball out, and then as he's tackled, Milford's ripped it out of his hands, and that's a penalty for the home side. 6-0 Sydney Roosters. We've got 23 left in the first half. Bingo bins clock.
Yeah, frustration there by Milford. I mean, I could see what he was trying to do, but you had him on the ropes there a little bit. And you look for that little kick there, but also raking the ball out there. You don't need to give away penalties like that. In that field position there, when you got him down there, geez, Gerds, that's a coach killer there.
You can tweet us at @M_NRL, and that's thanks to 4 and 20. The footy's on, which means it's 4 and 20 time. Geez, I wish they'd give us our 4 and 20 0. Allianz.
I ordered a Caesar salad.
There's now, of course you did, 18 short of halfway the Roosters. 6-0 they lead. The try for Aiden Guerra. As Warrior Hargreaves pounds down the middle. Stopped by Thaiday. It's played now to Friend. Throws it across to Liu. Beats one. Oh, he almost beats another. Desperate tackle by Glenn. 35 out. Roosters with momentum. Here's Friend. He gets away from the marker who mightn't have been squared, but Friend slips a pass out to Mitchell. Steps inside Roberts. Steps inside Marshall. Desperate tackle down low by Gillett. Oh, the Broncos are just hanging on. Bad pass out of dummy half by Friend. Picked up by Pearce. Pearce straightens. Then he underarms it back to corner. Corner looks for an opening. Pushes away from Glenn. Goodbye! He's over. Boyd Corner scores. For the video, this is a white-hot Sydney Roosters team. It's 10 points to 0, and the kick is from next month.
Well, you can't give them opportunities tonight, boys. Gee, they've been sharp with the football. Milford just giving away a silly penalty down the Roosters' end, allowed them to come up here and put on some attacking set pieces, and gee, they look sharp with the football. That one, gee, I'll tell you what, Isaac Liu coming out of trouble, some nice footwork. Jake Friend thought he went the wrong way there, came over to the left when they were lined out to the right, went down the short side. Latrell Mitchell with a nice piece of footwork to get on the inside of Roberts, and then a quick play the ball. That man, Boyd Corner, there wasn't much doing when he got the football. It was just Adam Blair, didn't move up, just dropped off his assignment there for 1 second, and the strength of Boyd Corner just to get on his inside and hold him off with that left arm was able to then out-sprint him all the way to the try line. Not a lot in that one, boys, but gee, the strength from Boyd Corner, it just goes to show you clock off in semi-finals for 1 second like Adam Blair does, and it costs your team.
Well, you picked it, boys. You said Boyd Corner will score tonight. He's got a great record against the Broncos, and 7 tries from 8 games. Geez, a winger would be proud to have that sort of record against a club.
100%, Dan.
So those stats again for Makita as we'll get a Kotire replay just laid off. Pearce, a wonderful pass. But gee, a feeble attempt to tackle there from Blair. No need for the Kumo Tire kick predictor because again it is basically in front. Better always Kumo Tire. Michael Gordon to make it 12 points to 0. Here he comes now. And he gets it. Now, earlier in the year, the Roosters were home against the Broncos. They led 18-6, and the Broncos scored 2 late tries. So, A 12-point lead is no guarantee of anything. Down to the sideline, Brent Reid, Ream Hot Water Hooters.
You mentioned Mitchell Pearce involved in that try again. You know, in the first 14 games, Mitchell Pearce had 33 try involvements. In the past 7, he has had 6. So since Origin 3, his form's been down. He's had a good start tonight. Cody Nicarima is now into the game. David Mead's out.
That's an interesting ploy, isn't it, by Coach Wayne Bennett? 20 minutes in, and as we see it's come off the legs, as we see a change there, Nicarima on the lead off.
And only got a penalty to the Roosters. Brisbane getting frustrated. Napa was taken by 3 defenders. Something's happened in the tackle. Tautau Moga appears to have been involved. And the Roosters now. Let's have a look here. Now, this is where players are critical of the rule, Bill, in that Tautau Moga was clearly braced for impact.
Yeah.
But he had no arms anywhere near. And that's where the impact was made.
Isaac Liu, 87 metres to start the game.
Sensational.
What a beast.
There's Aiden Guerra hitting it up. So the Roosters already up to halfway after that penalty restart. And Waria Hargreaves doesn't go too far on the second. Roosters 12, Brisbane 0. A telling Makita stat, Brisbane 18 missed tackles as Liu powers down the middle again. And he adds about 10 more metres to his stats. Play back to Frank, gets it on to Napa, hits and spins and gets away from Maguire. Another missed tackle. But Blair is there, along with Thaiday. 30 out, play to Frank, throws left to Pearce. Pearce on the corner, running down the left edge this time. And he's taken by Marshall, good tackle. Last, comes to Pearce. Oh, he kicks into the in goal. It's way too big. Way too big. He ran over the line. And that is something the Roosters do often, Ryan Girdler, and that is give the ball back with 7 tackle sets.
Yeah, they've got to get that right, don't they? Certainly this time of season. But this is the best part of their game. Their opening 20 minutes is superb. They're probably the best team in the competition in the first 20 minutes. But it's what happens after that. They go into lulls, especially 10 minutes before half time. That's what they would have been working on all week, making sure they get the start right, but then they maintain the rate.
That's the voice of Ryan Girdler, Wendell Saylor, Billy Harrigan for Pepper Money, Brent Reid on the sideline, Ream Hot Water Heaters, Triple M footy for Briders. Brisbane getting through their set pretty well here. It's a 7 tackle set. They're up the halfway on the third. Marshall swings it across to the left of Milford. Milford across now to Nicarima. Now out to Moga. One-on-one with Orbison. Orbison does well. Makes the tackle. And the Broncos near the left wing here, the left touchline. Nicarima at dummy half, goes to Glenn. Glenn keeps it going to SA. And he's been pretty good this year for Brisbane. He drives defenders back, 15 out there, he stopped. Last, they swing it to the right, hang on, switch of play. Marshall to the left of Milford. Milford away now to Moga. He throws it to Oates, who was in front of him. And it's a forward pass. Oates had a foot on the touchline anyway. And Corey Oates in a bad position as Brisbane trying a little party trick there, and I'll tell you, Wendell Saylor, it almost came off.
Well, it would have came off if Corey Oates had held his width. But you've got to hold your width and stay on side. Mate, he's an origin winger. That's not good enough at this level. They need to get back into the game, and he could have helped them. That was a really weak play by him.
Okay, so
about the 1%ers, boys.
Heavy tackle on Ferguson. SA putting him away. 23 gone now. There's now Dylan Napa rolls down the middle, taken by Ben Hunt. 12-0 to the Sydney Roosters. Loser of this game hosts the final next week as now Liu. He throws a pass which is overrun by Cordner. It then spilled forward off the ground, but of course that's not a knock-on. Mitchell claims it for the Roosters and goes to ground. Play to Frank, throws inside now to Waria Hargreaves. He goes down the middle bit. He's brought down here, played quickly to Frank. Close to the right to Guerra, now to Pearce, cut out ball, it's loose, it's dropped backwards here by Ferguson, and Ferguson's put away by Oates. That had potential, but Pearce's pass was astray. Last, Pearce under pressure, knocked off his feet as he kicked it. Now, caught on the fall, and yet there's the penalty. There's the penalty. It was a spectacular fall because he was knocked sideways, and that, I'm sure, gained the referee's attention. It's touch and go here, Billy. It's a penalty to the Roosters, and they immediately say we're going for 2.
Yeah, comes in again with his shoulder, knocks him over. He needed to use his arms. If he gets his arms around him, his timing is perfect and would have all been good. But he puts the arms up like chicken wings and goes in and just knocks him over.
Well, there's 3 minutes there that Moga just wants to forget. Yeah. A shoulder charge, obviously, to give away a penalty early. Then the pass to no one, and then that play there just to back of frustration. It's a really big test for him tonight to see if he can get himself back into some positive form in this game. We've seen what he can do when he plays well, how good he is with the football. But these are the moments when you're really under pressure in big games and you're not playing well that you need to turn it around. Let's see what he's got.
The Roosters will take 2 here. That'll give them a nice little cushion there. 2 converted tries and 2 points out there. Geez, that's a really weak start by Moga, as you said, even defensively. He hasn't defended well there with Milford. He needs to get his head on.
So Gordon with his most difficult shot of the night. Still pretty close to the post. He'll be about 21 in from touch. Sticking to the northern end. Just looking at the flags, they appear to have died down, so wind doesn't appear to be a factor here as Gordon has this lined up.
It's just not understanding the game either there, Wendell, because, I mean, the Roosters got themselves in a really bad position then to kick the football. They moved it over to the right edge. It was a poor pass. It was a slow play the ball that Ferguson had, and Pearce was on the wrong side. So Moga was able to get at his right leg. It wasn't a good kick, and Moga still went through and gave a penalty away when the Broncos would have been bringing the ball back on the 40-metre line.
Here's the kick. It is good. There was no need to bother the Kumo Tsai kick predictor. Gordon 3 from 3. The Roosters 14-0 on the Beaumont Tiles scoreboard. Tomorrow from midday, we're live at Amy Park for Saturday Triple M footy. And then 4:10 is kickoff. The record breaker for Cam Smith.
We're down there.
Can't wait.
I'm so happy for you guys.
Melbourne and Parramatta. Well, you had the choice.
Yeah, no, it's good. No, I'm happy. It's going to be good.
It means it. He is happy for us.
Unbelievable. The kickoff's not too big. Warrior Hargreaves dropped the ball, but he deliberately had the feet over the dead ball line. He knew what he was doing. Here comes the penalty, and Brisbane are self-destructing in a way we have not seen this season. They've been beaten heavily in games, but this is a capitulation.
He didn't mean to do that.
He didn't mean to do that, did
he? You laugh about that one for a while. But yeah, the same result.
Yeah.
Well, he put himself behind the dead ball line.
He did.
That part was deliberate.
He did.
But then
all he had to do was touch it.
The ball hit him more than he touched the ball.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. This could be a hammer blow. Ball put into touch, 28 out. Played and tapped by Friend. Throws to Pearce. Pearce to Napa. Down the middle he goes. Takes 3 defenders to put him away. 4-1 the penalty count to the Roosters for Makita. It's played to Friend. Throws to the right hand of Pearce. On to Liu. Beautiful knee pass to Keary. Out to Ferguson, but he's picked up and dumped by Moga. All played 10 in from touch. Thrown infield. Well, away to Liu. What a game this man is having. He just helps himself the metres here. Put on his back, 5 away. Still to the right of the post. 3 tackles gone. Way back to Friend. He floats a pass left to Pearce. Double pump. Oh, he could see the line. He thought he was going to get there, but Maguire just got enough of him to stop his momentum. And then the other defenders come in. Try line is where they are. Friend, a short pass to Cordner. Tries to crash his way to the line. Great tackle down low by Matt Gillett. So we get to the last here as it comes to Friend. Throws long right to Pearce. Gets it on to Keary. Blair chasing. Keary flicks it out the back to Liu. But Liu is stopped. He's stopped on the last tackle by Anthony Milford and Alex Glenn. And Wendell Saylor, a changeover. That was just all defensive design from the Broncos.
Well, they needed that, the Broncos. On this right edge here, they're targeting Benji Marshall. Benji Marshall came out, made the right read, but geez, expect a lot more traffic down this side tonight.
Tomorrow night we're also calling Manly Penrith. You will be part of that one, Wendell.
Exciting.
And you'll be on air from about 6:30 after we're done.
Perfect.
It's going to be a big night here on Triple M NRL tomorrow, and then we're back to do it all again on Sunday here at Allianz. Here's Maguire hitting it up with a nice hit and spin. He makes it the halfway here where he's put down. The metres aren't a problem for Brisbane. They're just doing silly things, missing tackles, giving away penalties. Here's Milford, and outside, inside to SASA, but well read by Guerra and Friend. Last year, 39 away. Comes down to Milford. He pokes a little kick here. It bisects the winger and the fullback. Won't find the in goal as Mitchell laconically picks it up, then crashes past one, beats Milford, finally brought down by Glenn, who seems to be making a lot of important tackles for Brisbane tonight. But he misses Ferguson here on the next play, as Ferguson then drags Marshall along and carries it to his own 30. Ball now played here to Friend. He throws it left to Madison, and Madison is brought down on the left side. We did see Brisbane concede 50 against the Eels only a couple of weeks ago, but perhaps are missing even more tackles tonight than on that night. As Cordner just goes down the middle on the fourth. Played to Friend. Goes to Tauke Aho. What a weapon to have off coming off the bench. Makes it over halfway. Put on his back by Hunt. And also another Brisbane defender there. As the ball is put up here and it's floating to the corner. It's taken on the full by Oates. Oates now runs sideways and he runs into Friend. And Friend eventually gets some help from Napa as well. 14-0 Roosters. We're about to enter the final 10 of this first half on the Beaumont Tile scoreboard as now Nicarima tries an expansive little pass. He finds Moga, but Moga wrestled to the ground by Orbison.
Mate, Isaac Louis, I know we've been saying his name a fair bit. 125 metres. This bloke, that's what finals football's about.
Sure is. As now here's Hunt going down the left edge away to Glenn. Hits on this at pace. Broken down low by Guerra. And up top there by Ria Hargreaves. They swing it to the right, a little juggle from Milford, then gets it on to Marshall. A cut-out ball away to Nicarima. Line ball pass to Jimmy the Jet. Roberts goes down the right edge. Oh, but rounded up easily by Nicarima, by Ryan Madison. 33 out, last tackle. Swung back to Marshall, and he goes for the knuckleball bomb. Floating in the air. It bounces. It's Alex Glenn. He takes it, but he can't get it down. Stunning. Roosters defence. Ferguson was there. So was another. How did they scramble? It's a changeover, and the Roosters just doing everything right now. 14 points to 0.
Much better set there by the Brisbane Broncos. It was an ugly kick from Benji, yeah, but Michael Gordon couldn't get there. It bounced up nicely for Alex Glenn, who's been everywhere tonight defensively. That time he was chasing the kick, but well done there. Mainly to, I think it was Blake Ferguson. It was Blake Ferguson, yes, underneath, and then Gordon coming over the top. The Roosters, as you said, Dan, desperate, but their heads-up play there by the Broncos.
That had to be a try. It had to be a try. Here's Glenn. Runs down the right side. We'll stop here by Hunt. And off ahead, Gowie was there as well. Played back to Friend. Wafts out a dummy half, goes to Keary. Oh, Marshall rushed up and made a crucial tackle. Boy, if he missed Keary, he had them shot there on that left side. Played to Friend, throws to Tucker out. Short pass, put down. Taukeaho's pass, it was dangerous. Picked up now and thrown to the left. Milford away to Moga. And he's taken one-on-one, 35 metres away. So Brisbane, a little bit of a momentum changer, but they need points. They're down 14-0 as Maguire hitting it up. Gets inside the 30. There's Brisbane now left side. They come back to the open right. SASA onto Gillett. And Gillett taken down low by Lloyd Cordner. Keary there as well. Played to Marshall, who jumps in the dummy half. He throws it across now to off-end Gowie. And he just ambles upfield where he's easily dealt with by Guerra and Napa. Played to Hunt. Throws to the right to Milford. Milford away to Maguire, and again, easily dealt with. Inside the 10, though, now the Broncos. There's a Snickerima dummy half. Throws left to Milford, turns it inside to SASA. He gets an extravagant flick out the side to Roberts. Roberts then comes back to his left, looks for option. He tries to toy with Keary, then he tries to get through Madison, but the pair hold their ground. And Roberts is brought down 12 away. And it looks like he's fallen a bit awkwardly in that tackle as well. Near the right touchline, Brisbane here, and worst case, need a result. Comes to Hunt, goes back to the short side to Gillett on the last. Flick past to Roberts, then an audacious tap on out the side to Kahu, and he's rounded up by Gordon. No line dropout, no try. Brisbane give the ball back. 7 minutes to go in the first half. 14-0, tricolours on the Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Well, the Broncos are getting the field position, but they're not executing the right play. They tried to cut back down that right-hand side there, but there was nothing there for them. They should have went to the middle of the post.
So, Kane Evans hitting it up now, and he's driven back, and that ball was a bit loose there, but he did well to hang on to it. Friend now feeds it across to Taukeaho. He drives two defenders back, almost up to the 30-metre line on the Roosters side of halfway. He's Friend. He gets it onto Evans, and the reserves are getting there, get through their work now. Evans turns his body onto the fence, gets an offload to Friend. Friend to Pearce. He almost sized his way past offhand Gowie. Good run nonetheless. Halfway line. Play to Friend. Runs forward. Throws a pass to Orbison. A hurried pass out to the wing. It was forward. It was put down anyway by Ferguson. And that's going to be a Brisbane scrum feed 10 shy of halfway. As this game is just starting to get a little loose. Not surprising given the pace that we've seen so far tonight. Type House shot clock turned on. Let's go down to the sideline. Brent Reid, Ream Hot Water Heaters.
Well, Blake Ferguson's been outstanding in this game so far. That's his first blue that I can remember. He spoke to Mel Menigger. He talked about it this week about how much he wants to retain that Australian jersey. He's made a good start tonight.
He couldn't do much more there. I mean, that was basically a pass thrown by Orbison, was under too much pressure. The Roosters, though, after that tremendous start, just starting to get a few errors in their game. Discipline starting to fall away. And this is what happens to them every week.
Yep. It's hard to remember an 80-minute performance from them all season. Here's Maguire hitting it up. And he's brought down. But it's one thing for the opposition to have a dead spot. You've got to take advantage. Here's Marshall Marshall going down the right, this time with the pass to Gillett. And he's cut down around the ankles by Keary. Madison up top. Ball about to be played to Roberts. He throws to the left. Away now to Hunt. And he just holds it, then gets a flat pass away to a support player. And he was chopped down quickly. And it was SA, and he's met 25 away. They go short left again. Hunt to Milford. Milford gets it on. The support down there. And Alex Glennon, he's dealt with. Well, they didn't throw much at them there. Here's a little grubber kick from Milford. Oh, it's cut off in the field of play by Cordner, who was back there, and he's brought down one out from his own line. Now Latrell Mitchell probes down the left edge, but he's contained here by Gillett and also Marshall. So we're inside the last 5 of this first half. Roosters 14, Brisbane 0 on the Beaumont Tile scoreboard. Here's Madison just doing some of the heavy lifting here, hitting it up and brought down on the third. Play to Friend, throws to Talkeaho. He cuts back towards the middle. At least 3, maybe 4 Brisbane defenders there to put him away. Now it's played back to Friend, goes to Evans, and a rush up on him. The ref keeping them back 10 here, Billy, as Evans has put down on the 5th.
Only just. It's a little bit erratic. Sometimes they're back 12, other times they're 9.
Friend kicks from inside the 40, but it was never a threat of being a kick in a touch, as it's taken here by Nicarima, and he just picks it up and runs down the middle. A good field position here for Brisbane. Nicarima's only 5 short of halfway. 4 to go, first half, 14-0, Sydney Roosters. Mogan now goes down the left edge. And his one-out run is stopped by Pearce. Ball played, Corey Oates. Haven't seen much of this from Corey tonight. The few times he's done it, he's been great, bending the defensive line back. And he's stopped here by Napa and Friend. 35 out. Here's Offahen Gowrie away to Marshall. Keeps it going right to Nicarima. Out to the wing to Kahu. Kahu had a bit of space. Now the defence converges. Kahu cuts back in and is taken by Cordner and Madison. 12 out. It's played to Nicarima. Long floating pass to the left to Marshall. Marshall keeps it going to Offahen Gowrie. And he just ambles down the middle and is easily brought down. Last Hunt. He throws to the right to Marshall. He grubbers. He finds the end goal. Jimmy Roberts got there first. That's a beauty of a try for the Broncos.
Yep, it's a bit of try. He's sending it up to the bunker, Chechen. He indicates try. Wow. Just checking the grounding, and you can see the coach on replay. This is a try.
He's had the half volley of this, James Roberts.
Bang.
He's done it brilliantly.
Beautiful try.
And hard Ryan Girdler to actually fault the defence. Benji just found a little opening. The kick was perfect. The put down was even better.
Yeah, it was a great set. I was just about to mention, I think Benji needs to get a little bit more involved in their last play options near the line. He's really good at that. He's got great touch. And then we saw him work over this right edge with a lovely cut-out pass to Kahu. Put him in a little bit of space. And then on the back of that, he worked one back in field and then came down this short side again. He caught the defence napping, put a lovely little kick and only travelled probably 3 or 4 metres. And then it's just the speed of Roberts. The pure speed of James Roberts. He must have scored 10 tries like that this year. He just gets to places not many people can. He got there on the half volley. Not many others would have, and he jams it down. And gee, what an important try that was for the Broncos, Wendell.
Yeah, mate, James Roberts. This is why you buy someone like him, Jimmy the Jet. Mate, I remember Michael Jennings. He used to do the same sort of thing. Jump out of the ground. Nice little play down that right-hand side, as you said. And, mate, great play there by the Broncos.
So here comes Jordan Kahu. 70% says the Kumo Tire kick predictor. And those Coates Tire replays are a thing of beauty. Brilliant try for the Broncos. And that gives them something to go into the sheds with. We still have 3 minutes in this first half remaining. So here's Kahu now. He's been a bit off with his kicking. 2 from 4 last week. He's on the right side, the non-preferred for the right footer. And the breeze has kicked up again. Here he comes now. He starts it at the right upright. And it curls back in against the wind. And then right over the black dot. Nice goal, Jordan Kahu. And Brisbane grinding their way back into this. Sydney Roosters 14, Brisbane 6. That's on the Beaumont Tile scoreboard. Right now at Beaumont's get a $500 luxury bathroomware upgrade. And all those stats we bring you thanks to Makita and their cordless power garden range. Makita is the landscaper's choice. Down to the sideline, Dream Hot Water Heaters, Brent Reeve.
And that's rough justice on Ryan Madison. He's had an outstanding start to this game defensively on Jimmy Roberts. There wasn't much he could do about that.
How unfortunate are they for Reedy tonight, boys? I mean, look, he's wore... There's 2 colours of high-vis vest down there. There's the orange and there's the green that would have gone with his shoes. He had to wear the orange, Rudy. Is there any chance you'd go and swap to the green high-vis to match those shoes?
A strip here. It's going to be a Brisbane penalty. And now the Broncos, they get a chance to pour on some more attack. Well, can they do it just before the break? It would be stunning if they went into the sheds only 2 or 4 down. Ball put into touch. 8 short of halfway as Matt Gillett is hitting it up and is brought down. The penalty came from an absolutely unnecessary strip as the ball's about to be played here. Hunt throws to the left to Maguire, turns it back inside to Offahengawi, and he's dealt with here by Evans and also Taukeaho. Bad play the ball, penalty! Big call, Billy Harrigan. Big call for the Broncos. They take the tap. Here's Hunt. He dummies, then turns it inside. S.A. rolls over the 30, beats one. Now finally put down by Friedman Taukeaho. But here come the Broncos. Here's Hunt, throws it across to Maguire, and he just carries it forward. 1 out, taken by Friend, who almost deliberately gives away a penalty. Play to Hunt, comes back to the left, turns it inside to Milford, switches it to the right, holding it, almost trips over himself. Then he flicks it out the back to Kahu, but the defence holds their ground. And Kahu brought down 10 in from touch on the right side, 10 metres out. Roberts now, long pass out of dummy half to Marshall. Marshall away to Offahengawi, and he just puts on a left foot step and goes up for a settler. And Brisbane here, 4 tackles gone. Offahengawi plays it, centre field. Hunt throws to the left to Maguire. Oh, short pass to Glenn, he was almost away. Big tackle by Pearce down low. Last, big play. Marshall, grubber, into the goal. Oh, it's batted out the back by Friend, and there won't be enough time. There won't be enough time for a dropout. Now, what are we looking at here? Did Matt Checken indicate he was going upstairs? No. It's going to be for half-time here as we look at a Coach Eye replay. There's an interesting contest between Maguire and Friend, but no indiscretion there, Billy. And that is going to be the half-time siren. Oh. So 14-6. And all of a sudden, we're nicely poised. The Broncos can go into the sheds thinking, we are not done. The Roosters, they've had their dead spot the last 10 minutes before the break, but they were electric for the first half hour. This is a great start to the NRL Finals. We do it here on Triple M for Bryden's Lawyers.
Finals footy on Triple M NRL. Only for our mates, Bryden's Lawyers.
After a slow start, the Sydney Swans have steamrolled their way to the AFL Finals.
The Swans home by 3 points.
Led by the biggest name in the game.
Very few players that can do it like Buddy Kemp.
They face off against a resurgent Essendon side in an elimination final at the SCG. Here it's Saturday from 3 on Triple M DAB Radio.
For McDonald's, Triple M rocks Finals footy.
At NAB, we're backing business in moments that matter.
The big moment for me was when I realised I could afford to buy new vehicles every couple of weeks.
The moment when a little win makes a big difference.
I reached a point where I could keep going it alone, but hiring staff is what's kept us growing.
The moment when your business turned the corner.
There were times when we wondered if we could compete on a global scale, but taking the plunge is how we got where we are today.
To find out how NAB can back your business, search NAB Business. NAB. More than money.
Attention punters! After a few refreshing ales, one should always know that he is too piddled to punt. No one wants to wake up hungover next to some random betting slips. Oh no. Show some Betticat today and learn more at betticat.nsw.gov.au.
Serious landscaping needs serious tools, and Makita's range of cordless power garden tools are all you will need to power through the toughest of tough jobs this summer. With 160 tools on one battery. That's chainsaws, brush cutters, hedge trimmers, blowers. Makita has got you covered. Forget the fuel. Charge in as little as 22 minutes. Makita's cordless power garden tools have long run times, are quieter, and are most of all full of power. Makita, when power means business.
Listen up, punters. No more should you be subdividing your attention between some push notification pertaining to races 6, 7 and 11 at Rose Hill and your girlfriend or boyfriend. Show some Betticat today and learn more at betticat.nsw.gov.au.
The Mitsubishi 100 Years of Adventure sale is now on. With a $1,000 factory bonus across a range of Triton 4x4 double cab pickup models like the GLX Plus, GLS and Exceed. Get into a Triton and get out there. The Mitsubishi 100 Years of Adventure sale. The time of your life starts now. Private buyers and ABN holders, terms and conditions apply.
2017, Triple M is the home of NRL.
If your home loan application's been kicked to touch, talk to Pepper Money. They do real-life loans for real people. Pepper.com.au. Visit the new rover.com.au website. Now you can buy online and in-store. The game's in your control this season with YouBet's Cash Out. Download the app today and gamble responsibly.
Triple M. You've never heard the NRL like this. Triple M rocks the footy. Half-time for Coochie Hydro Green for greener, healthier lawns.
Well, the Brisbane Broncos this year have been behind at half-time 9 times and they've won 4 of them. So this won't be a problem, an 8-point deficit. But the Roosters, funnily enough, their worst period is straight after half-time on the Makita stats, but they are almost unbeatable. 14-1 when they lead at the break, primarily because they open up such big leads in the first half. And they've done that tonight. They led 14-0 over the Broncos, but a late try has this game nicely poised. It's still very much the Roosters to lose here. They lead 14 points to 6 as we do Triple M footy for Bryden's Lawyers and halftime for Coochie Hydro Green. Coochie Hydro Green for greener, healthier lawns. They may have used it here at Allianz because the lawn looks fantastic here as we kick off the finals. Ryan Girdler, Wendell Saylor, where are we placed with this game?
Well, I think the score a fair reflection, to be honest, boys. I mean, they started really well, didn't they, the Roosters, coming up with a couple of really nice early tries. They were dominant. They had all the sort of the football. They looked a lot crisper. But give the Broncos some credit. I mean, things haven't been going their way early in the game, but they found a way to get themselves back into the game. They don't look great with the football, and I guess the big question is going to be in the second half is can they click into gear? I mean, the Roosters are going to give them opportunities. You know that because they've done that to sides all year. They've had them down with their foot on the throat, and they haven't been able to finish them off. So it's going to be interesting. The Broncos are going to get an opportunity. The Roosters will surge again at some point in the second half, Wendell, but you would think at the moment the Broncos, after the first half that they've had and been really dominated by the Roosters, would be kind of happy with the scoreline.
Yeah, look, I think that flatters the Broncos. I reckon they should be at least 20 points down. I know they're a mentally tough side. Blake Ferguson, he missed a good opportunity there. I know he's done some good things, also had a mixed bag. But the Broncos, their toughness to stay in the game, and this is exactly what you said before about the Roosters, that 10 minutes before half-time, they get a bit mentally soft. They don't play clinical football, and they haven't done it this year. But the Broncos, mate, they should be very happy to be only 8 points down.
It's half-time once again for Coochie Hydro Green. What do we make of the David Mead experiment, and where is that at? Is he done for the game? Are we expecting, unless there's an injury, not to see him again?
I don't think you'll see him again. It's a bold move by Wayne. I don't know whether Wayne thought, 14-0 down, if they go another try, it's going to be hard to get back, because Mead didn't do a great deal wrong, I thought. I thought he played tough. He's not the
they're
most
looking for more. They're looking for more width in their play, Wendell. They've brought Nicarima on so that he can actually move the football around a little bit more. We saw it a couple of times on that left side. That's where Darius Boyd's so potent over there. Moga got the football. It was late in the tackle count. He got the timing all wrong. Usually that would be Darius Boyd putting the polish on the end of those set pieces. I think that's what he's looking for with Nicarima.
But even with Moga, just quickly down that edge there, his defence, him and Milford, they're going to have to get themselves back on the right track, because at the moment they're getting exposed down that left-hand side.
All right, 14-6 the tries. Guerra and Cordner for the Roosters. Gordon 3 from 3. James Roberts, he scored late. Jordan Kahu 1 from 1.
The other interesting thing is, with the Roosters side and the Roosters bench, you've still got Tupu that's on the bench. You've still got Connor Watson on the bench. I mean, they're two backs, essentially. I mean, Connor Watson usually comes on and plays sometimes a little bit through the middle in the halves or a fullback, or he's usually sort of on the wing, but Tupou can only play one spot, so what are they going to do with him? Are you going to take on a finals and only play 15 men? It's a brave call from Robbo as well.
Billy for Pepper Money, all good with the refs?
Yeah, all good. 5 penalties in the game so far. Just the one little thing I've been watching is just their 10 metres has been a little bit erratic. Sometimes Chetch is setting it and he's got him back around 9. Other times he's going back 12. When he's going back, say, 10 to 12, I'm finding the Roosters are staying 1 to 2 metres in front of him, and the Broncos are starting to push him a little bit wider, but other than that, they're going really well.
All right, thank you, Billy, for Pepper Money. Half-time for Coochie Hydro Green. It is Roosters 14, Broncos 6. Here are the half-time highlights for Seabus Super.
Thanks to Seabus. Whether you're on the tools or in the office, Seabus is built to last. Triple M NRL highlights.
The arm is raised. The 2017 NRL finals begin. Right upright, 2 metres out. Fred, beautiful pass out to Guerra. There's no one near him. It's a Roosters try. That pass out of dummy half by Friend. Picked up by Pearce. Pearce straightens. Then he underarms it back to Corner. Corner looks for an opening. Pushes away from Blair. Goodbye! He's over. Boyd Corner scores. Last hunt. He throws to the right to Marshall. He grubbers. He finds the end goal. Jimmy Roberts got there first. That's a beauty of a try for the Broncos.
Triple M rocks finals footy. For our mates at Bryden's Lawyers.
For years, people have contacted Triple M asking the big question.
How would you fake your own death and where would you go?
I'm scuba diving all the way to the Bahamas.
Yeah? What's your new name?
Manfred.
Manfred? Ah.
Okay. I was thinking to go to the Midlands or the north of England, find myself somewhere near a McDonald's and a bakery, and I'd just be happy.
If anyone in this room has already thought about faking their own death and starting a new life, it would be Matthew John.
You got it.
I'm thinking about it now.
The Grill Team. Triple M breakfast.
How much more powerful is the Amarok V6 Ute? This jackhammer is 1.6 kilowatts. Let's start with 6 of those. A typical lawnmower, about 2 kilowatts. Take 5. Chainsaws is 10. Altogether, that's 33 kilowatts. At 180 kilowatts on overboost, the Amarok V6 Turbo Diesel is 33 kilowatts more powerful than any other ute in its class. And now the Amarok V6 Sportline Auto is available from only $55,990 drive away. Offer ends September 30. Conditions at Volkswagen.com.au.
At NAB, we're backing business in moments that matter.
We thought that selling all our stock the first year was a big deal, but then sales doubled the next year.
The moment when a little win makes a big difference.
Well, we had 2 stores, but we wanted to go national. Now we have more than 100.
The moment when your business turned the corner.
It's not only the moment of inspiration that counts, it's finding the backing I needed to make it real.
To find out how NAB can back your business, search NAB Business. NAB. More than money.
We've been keeping a lid on it all season. Come game day, I want to see that Matador barbecue firing. The crowd expects something special, and we're going to serve it up on a platter. Now we want a solid, even performance across the grill. The stakes are high, and they're going to be delicious. You've worked long and hard on that chicken marinade. Let's see you put it through the big sticks, because when those onions hit the hot plate, it's game on. Now get out there, and let's give them a taste of what a Matador can do. A great game needs a great barbecue. Matador, the sign of a great barbecue. Available at Bunnings Warehouse.
In 2017, Triple M is the home of NRL.
If your home loan application's been kicked to touch, talk to Pepper Money. They do real life loans for real people. Pepper.com.au. Visit the new rover.com.au website. Now you can buy online and in store. The game's in your control this season with UBET's Cash Out. Download the app today and gamble responsibly.
Triple M. Triple M. You've never heard the NRL like this.
Wake up with the Grill Team.
They're just hilarious.
This is sick funny.
For breakfast on Triple M.
It's the ultimate way to start your morning.
Well, there are better ways. Just not on radio.
3 hours of an absolute piss take.
Matty Johns.
I love his Gary John stories.
With MG and Gus.
Gus is a bit of a legend.
If I ever want a good laugh, I just go back and listen to the old podcast.
And Emma Friedman and Paigey.
Emma's good. I think Paige is fantastic as well.
The Grill Team.
I tell everyone how good it is.
Listen to it because it's funny.
Triple M Breakfast.
Triple M.
Triple M
104.9.
Around Oz. Live on Triple M NRL.
Shout it out.
Welcome back to Finals Footy, like you've never heard it before. For Bryden's Lawyers, live around Oz on Triple M NRL.
Good atmosphere here at Allianz Stadium. A lot of discussion about crowd numbers this week. I would think maybe 25,000, and don't blame the SCG Trust members because the members is chockers here. Don't blame it if it's a poor crowd. It is very, very full up here where we're calling, up here with the gods, as the Roosters and the Broncos about to re-emerge. Roosters 14, Brisbane 6. The Broncos have recovered from a 14-point deficit. They did that to Manly at the Suncorp doubleheader. They were down 14-0, 124-14. And the Roosters have squandered a 14-point lead, and it wasn't that long ago. They led Manly 18-4 at Brookie, lost 36-18. So, history says it's possible that the Broncos could overrun them, but Gerds, as we do those stats from Makita, Brisbane have to be the next team to score. That's a pretty obvious thing to say, I know, but realistically, if the Roosters score next, hard to see the Broncos coming back.
Yeah, in this type of environment, when there's so much to play for, yeah, you think they've got to come out of the blocks. But, you know, they took the they took the momentum into the sheds, even though, you know, they got the last try and they sort of came off the field with, you know, probably feeling lucky to only be 8 points behind. I think they'll take a little bit out of that last 10 minutes. And as you said before the breakdown, the Roosters' worst period is the 10 minutes after half time. So, you know, the Broncos will come out, they'll be pumped up, and the Roosters need to just get those errors out of their game. The fact that the Brisbane Broncos got back into the contest was because the only 3 errors the Roosters made were in the last 15 minutes of that first half. They started pushing passes, going away from what had got them in that positive position early on in the game, and they need to try and get that out of their game.
Wendell Saylor?
Yeah, no, mate, you're right, Gertz. But, you know, we talked about Adam Blair before, just quickly. Mate, he made a massive try saver there, but then also that Boyd Cordner, mate, how explosive did he look when he scored that try?
Now, just updating things in the AFL, it is Richmond 25, Geelong 10. That is early in the second quarter there. No, I think it's late in the second quarter, so that's a low scorer. Played in front of about 95,000 at the MCG. And that reminds me, tomorrow, if you're in Sydney, to get the Swans game against Essendon, you will have to listen to Triple M DAB Digital. Crystal clear there. And the Rugby League will be on 104.9. That's for our Sydney audience. We're on here for midday. We do Melbourne and Parramatta, and then straight to Manly and Penrith. On DAB Digital, you get an hour pre-game for the Swans and Essendon, and then the live call from the Sydney Cricket Ground. So that is what is happening tomorrow. Brent Reid, what has happened at half-time? Down to you for Ream Hot Water Heaters.
Yeah, needless to say, Trent Robinson was pretty happy with the way they were going. He said, just keep your support around the rule, just around the ball. Just be careful of their last play options and their spreads. And Wayne Bennett, it was all about defence. He said, get communication up in defence. You're too wide, you're not talking enough. You need to talk more in the second half.
All right, don't forget, after the game, we will take the press conferences and extended post-game. And you can tweet us as well, thanks to 4 and 20. The footy's on, which means it's 4 and 20 pie time. Ryan Girdler, Wendell Saylor, Billy Harrigan, Brent Reid, Dan Ganane, your team, as we get ready for the second half. An explosive opening 40 minutes. It was extraordinarily quick, and the second half begins. Brisbane will receive, and it's Anthony Milford catching, and he throws it here to Herman Sa. He made a nice impact when entering the game at about the 25-minute mark. Driven back here by Mitch Orbison and one other, Aidan Guerra. Played on the left side of Milford. He throws it infield to Offahen Gowie, and he's knocked over on the second, put on his back. 14-6 the Roosters. As now here it comes to Alex Glenn, and he hits and spins, and he's dropped down here. 17 shy of the halfway line. The metres are about even at half-time. Both sides pretty much taking them at will on the Makita stats. Now Josh Maguire powering up the middle with a good one-out run. Taukeiaho puts him on his back. Maguire plays at the home. Throws to the right to Gillett. Hits and spins and avoids heavy contact with Napa, but there were two other defenders there to close Gillett down. Final tackle, short side, it comes to Marshall near that right wing, and he gets a good kick which tucks in behind Gordon. It's not going to roll over the dead ball line, so Gordon's going to play it. He'll get into the field of play, but not much further, as he's rounded up by Roberts and Jordan Kahu. A textbook opening set for the Brisbane Broncos, as Mitchell now just goes one out on play two. Played now to Gordon, close to Ferguson, and he runs straight at Ben Hunt. Hunt holds on for dear life in the tackle and needed some help there from Maguire. Play back to Friend, who throws it infield to Orbison, and he just tucks it under the arm and hits it up. We're in a bit of a holding pattern here, the first couple of sets of this second half. The sides just feeling each other out again, as Taukeiaho with a good burst, about 12, 13 metres. In fact, they can't get him to ground. He's called held standing up. On the last, Pearce, just short of halfway, puts up an end-over-end deep kick, easily caught on the full by Nicarima. And he brings it back, and he runs into a Roosters wall. So 2 gone second half, bingo bins clock. 14-6 to the Roosters on the Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard.
Yeah, we talked about Wayne Bennett putting Nicarima there because he wanted something more in attack. The thing is, you lose something with that contact, that body. The defence of the Roosters is quite heavy and very, very solid.
Roberts is brought down. Marshall's knocked it on a dummy half. He tried to take off out of dummy half, and he hit Roberts on the way through, and the ball skewed out of his hands. A diabolical error. Marshall was thinking about what was ahead of him and not thinking about what was in front of him right there.
Well, he saw Keary was down, so he knew that there was only going to be one marker. What he was trying to do there, Dan, is set up up his outside man. He had Roberts just loitering over there on the wing. He knew if he could just get on the outside and give Roberts some clean ball, let him attack his opposite man, it could cause him some trouble. So, right idea from Benji, just poor execution. Maybe got old man's back and just couldn't get down low enough. You ever had that thing when you've got to pick up the remote control?
I'm starting to get that now.
You go to pick up the slippers.
Well, that's why I have 4 Fox remotes. Here it comes down to the right, it comes to Mitchell, away now to Gordon, he comes back in field. Doesn't matter, I'll always find one on the couch. His friend now, first to the left of Guerra. Oh, he stepped inside a steamrolling SASA, and the cover of the second wave was good. Glennon off a Hengowie, finished Guerra off. 20 out centre field, go left, Pearce, long ball pass to Taukeiaho. Again he stands tall in the tackle. This time he's put on his back though. 9 away the Roosters. Here they go down to the right. Friend to Pearce, deep pass to Keary. Keary pins the ears back, goes straight through and scores. It was so easy. And Billy Harrigan, your seal of approval.
Yeah, very good. Don't need to go to the video on that one. They read it well.
18 points to 6 and the kick will be from out wide.
Well, gee, it opened up easily. Yeah, you're right. And it was Milford then just getting in behind Alex Glenn and allowing Keary, who's just got a really nice turn of foot there, just to get on his outside and then score the first try in the second half. Look, it was way too easy. As soon as I saw that, Billy, I thought there must have been an obstruction as there was a couple of league runners from the Roosters go through, but they did make no contact. Yep. It was just a really poor read from the Brisbane defence.
Yeah, those two block, or you can call them block runners or support players, they did exactly what they're required to do, go through the line, stay out of the way, and there was no drama.
Milford's having an unhappy night here. He's defending too tight there, Goods. You know that. And Moga's not going with him. They're not on the same page at the moment, and it's costing the Broncos heavily down that edge.
Well, big kick here. It's out wide. It's 18 from touch. Michael Gordon, 56%. The Kumo Tyre kick predictor. And he is perfect so far tonight, but this far and away his most difficult shot.
Well, Brent Reid came out and said the halftime report from Brisbane coach Wayne Bennett was talk more in defence. There was absolutely no communication there. As you can see, Milford turning around to try and find out where Moga was. Moga got up in front of his man there. It's something you certainly can't do, and that just allowed the space to open up there for Keary.
There's no trust at the moment there between those two.
So here's a very important kick. Michael Gordon, right side, not preferred for the right footer. Comes in now, starts it left, going further away. Bad kick from Gordon. He almost tried, it seemed like Gerds, you're the goal kicking expert. He tried to hit the cover off that one. 18-6.
Yeah, just put it a little bit to the left, Dan. He kicks them nice and straight. Gordon usually, but that time, yeah, he sort of aimed it at the left hand upright, and I thought he was trying to bring it back the other way, which is really difficult for a right foot kicker, but just got that one wrong. It was an important kick, and should have done better, to be honest.
Luke Keary's 8th try of the year. He's more used to the try assist. He's in the top 5 in the NRL in that department. As with that scoreboard for Mitsubishi Triton. The Mitsubishi 100 years of adventure sail on now. See you Mitsubishi deal today. Good strong run. Kane Evans from the kickoff. And now he's still not called held. Now finally the referee says, yes, I did call held. So you have to walk back and play. Here's Ferguson now hitting it. And he's met here.